So when is it a bad idea to take profits? What's going on, team? This is Ricky with TechBud Solutions. I really hope that you learned something new, and if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing if you feel like we earned it. This is a question that we're getting asked a lot from beginners as the NASDAQ market makes all-time highs, and a lot of big tech companies are making all-time highs as well, right? One of the things that I want to remind you is that for the past month and a half to nearly 2 months, the market's been incredibly bullish. I mean, 2023 has been very giving in comparison to the counterpart of 2022. With that being said, we need to understand that market conditions do not need to remain as they are right now. Now, can markets continue to grow and make higher highs and higher lows? 100%. The big question and the whole reason that, again, I'm bringing this up, and I'm going to continue to bring it up. So if this thing bothers you, just please don't watch any of our future videos. But my job is to look out for the beginners, right? And there's no question that for the past month and a half, the market's been very giving. But it's because the market's been incredibly bullish. Well, what happens when market conditions change, right? Because markets are not going to remain as bullish as they are right now forever. So especially going into the end of 2023 and going into the start of 2024, it's really important to begin to pay attention if market direction is beginning to change. And I'm not saying that it's changing right now. I'm just making you aware that if you've made money and it's been very given to you in the past 2 months, please understand that that's because of the current session that we're experiencing, which is a very aggressive bull run. But once the market begins to trade sideways and or is not as bullish, that same approach that you've had for the past 2 months is not going to be as giving, right? So this is why it's important to be aware of when market conditions do begin to change, which again, it does not have to happen right now, that you are at least aware that we are overbought right now. Market conditions can change. And if they do, then you can create your plan of action, right? And it's obviously encouraged to have a plan of action prior to market conditions changing, right? Because you don't want to begin to freak out or overreact if we begin to see a quick change of direction, but simply having a plan of action of either reducing position size, taking profits, and preparing for when the markets do correct themselves, that you at least put yourself in a position where you can take advantage of those lower prices. And that's the whole thing, is if your intention is to hold, then continue to hold. But if your overall plan is to take profits and then prepare for a pullback, then just be aware to be able to do so once we get that proper indication. So as of right now, NASDAQ market is up 0.3%, nothing too significant, but it's bullish. It is holding above the moving average and it is holding above the EMA. We are currently testing highs of 406.34, and if I'm not mistaken, 402.63. Yep, we are at all-time highs, 406.34, and we also got asked this question this morning. Is it rare for the NASDAQ market, or is it weird for the NASDAQ market to continue to make higher highs and higher lows? Like it has made new 52-week highs time and time again. That is not rare because of what is the current market sentiment. The current market sentiment is very bullish, and rightfully so. It makes sense on why the market is so bullish. Federal Reserve announced that in 2024, there's more rate cuts than previously what was expected. Inflation is going down, and our economy is looking pretty solid. Now, is this something that is artificially being done in preparation for an election year? Maybe, but it doesn't matter, right? Because the market is reacting and performing the way that it is. My biggest thing is run with it. Learn to make money during these sessions, but never be afraid to take profits, especially at these overbought levels. So when direction does begin to change, you can better prepare, and you don't have to short the market, right? But at least you've saved and took profits at these higher levels. So when the market does sell off, it excites you. Think about that, how that feeling is going to put you in a position where when markets do begin to sell off, you get excited because you're now sitting on a pile of cash that you locked in profits at a great price point. And it's simply because you were aware that markets were overbought in preparation for a pullback. And now you can take advantage of all of these great companies at a much cheaper price. Remember, it's not just about being perfect with your entries and your exits, but making sure that you enter and exit appropriately based off of what the market is telling you. And as right now, market's incredibly bullish, higher highs, higher lows, no question about it. And I quickly wanted to share with you what we are seeing for this upcoming week. When it comes down to the series of economic reports, the big ones for tomorrow are going to be building permit and housing starts. On Wednesday, we have consumer confidence report, we have the MBA mortgage application index, and current account balance. But one of the most important ones that I'm going to be paying attention to at 10 a.m. Eastern time, this is 30 minutes after the market opens on Wednesday, existing home sales. Again, the Federal Reserve has really been paying attention to how the housing market is doing. On Thursday, one of the most important ones is the GDP third estimate. This is going to be 1 hour before the market opens. And the most important one, in my opinion, based off of what the Federal Reserve says is their favorite economic report for their metric of measure, is the PCE prices and PCE core. And that's going to be 1 hour before the market opens on December 22nd, Friday. So just want to make sure that you're aware of the handful of different economic reports that are going to be released this week. And yes, I will continue to keep you up to date on my YouTube channel. All you literally need to do is subscribe, drop a thumbs up, and if you ever have any questions about any topics that we talk about within our videos, I hope that you know that you can always send me a direct message via Discord or via Instagram, which is the first or third link in the description down below. As you can see behind me, the overall NASDAQ market is bouncing off of this moving average on the 1 minute time frame and heading back to previous highs, which means what? We are on our ways to make new highs for QQQ, which means that, again, it's just another time where you can either choose to buy the dip and take profits at overbought levels, and then when you take profits, you wait for it to dip again, and it looks like it's been bouncing off of that moving average very, very nicely. We've been announcing these buys and these sells to our LPP team, and I would love for you to join. Again, they get to watch me trade live every day, and they get all of my trade updates. If you want to learn more about that, it's the second link in the description down below. And if you sign up by today, you can watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.